What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Duzigar here, bringing you people a Pokemon Showdown live here in the with the Sun and Moon OU ladder after a damn long time. And I apologize for the lack of upload, guys, but yeah, I really haven't been feeling much of a mood when it comes down to laddering as of late, because it's just that the OU ladder is so stale, guys. It's honestly very hard to find motivation to upload upload videos on a regular basis, but I definitely am going to try to be more consistent when it comes down to it, because you guys take time off your days to watch my videos, and like just the fact that I can't return the same to you guys is honestly very bad. But yeah, I'll try being much more consistent, guys. I keep saying that so many times and it sucks that I keep on failing, but it doesn't mean that I don't try, alright? But either way, we're gonna be using this team today that I got from NJNP. Like, this is a pretty cool rain team, which I'm not sure how well it's gonna work, to be honest, because it has some pretty unique heat, you could say, but it's still some nice innovation. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Regardless, my opponent here is using a pretty unique team, that is for sure. He has a Tapu Fini, so I really won't have a good time playing this team, especially considering he happens to possess like Weavile in his squad. But regardless, it seems that my best lead would, excuse me, wow, understandable. Have a great day. I don't know what to say anymore, honestly, but it looks like I'm gonna have to start the game with a huge handicap on my side. Amazing. Regardless, I am just gonna go hard into my Pelipper because it can eat whatever hit it wants to dish out at me. And judging by the structure of his team, this could potentially be a Z move Heatran, which kind of will be a problem to deal with, but I will come up with something, that is for sure. He's gonna try to go for an Earth Power, and that's not gonna work out for him, unfortunately enough. But I think now would be the time for him to either A, pop that Gracium Z of his, or B, go hard out into either his Mega Venusaur or something along those lines. So, you know what? I don't even have a proper switch into it, so I'm kind of forced to go for a U-turn here. So thankfully, he does not happen to possess the Gracium Z. The Gracium Z, which is actually pretty damn neat. Now, I could just go into my Mega Medicham, but alas, I don't happen to possess the Thunder. I don't happen to possess that move with me, so there is that. Either way, I believe I'm just gonna go into my Tapu Koko, because I can pretty much just instigate a lot of pressure on my opponent. And what I believe I'm going to do right now is just, I think that his play would definitely have to be going into his Mega Venusaur or something along those lines. So I'm just gonna go for a Thunder. I don't expect him to go hard into his Diggersby, because if he does, that would be just a terrible play in general. But yeah, he does go into his Mega Venusaur like I expected him to. That only did 36%, which is just sad on God knows how many levels. But that's fine, because what I can do right now is just essentially go hard out into my Ferrothorn, and then just instigate some pressure by setting up some hazards. But alternatively, what I could do would have to be predicting the Heatran to want to come out and then pulling a double into my Mega Medicham. But instead, he chooses to go hard into his Skarmory, which is perfectly fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and kick something in the face, because that is something which my Mega Medicham loves to do. And even if he decides to go for a Brave Bird and knock me out, I honestly could care less. But either way, if I had Thunder Punch, this would have been much more efficient. But Mega Medicham is still a Mega Medicham, and they don't give no fucks if you're a Tapu Fini or not. But either way, now I believe my best play would have to be definitely just going into my Tapu Koko, because yeah, Tapu Koko is definitely my swap of choice. I don't think you would have a Water type move with you, and even if you do, that is completely fine, because what I can do here would have to be just going for a Roost and getting myself back up to a decent amount of HP. And I know for a fact that a Tapu Fini ain't gonna be staying in on me. That'd be just flat out stupid. So this is actually pretty good for me. And while you could make the argument about the fact that he could go into his Diggersby and then go on to offensively pressurize me, I do in the end have some ways to soft check it. So it should be fine. It should be fine unless this thing is SD, in which case that'd be really, really, really bad. But yeah, I'll come up with something. I'll definitely come up with something for sure. If there's... Not so sure though, like how fast is this Diggersby anyways? Slash... Wait, D... Oh my god, I'm so bad. Diggersby. Alright. Never mind, that's not how you do it. I am so bad at this, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry guys. There we go. Alright, so it has 78, it has a base speed of 78, which is completely fine. I can just pretty much go for a U-turn here. He's scarfed. Okay, so that is some good intel. I probably should not have stayed in, now that I think about it. Yeah, that was a very stupid play on from yours truly, but it's fine. I am just gonna opt to go for another U-turn here. If he decides to stay in and go for Fire Blast for God knows why, that's gonna work against him. And since he did end up going into his Tapu Fini, I can now just go into my Tapu Koko, pop the Electric Terrain again, and then choose to go straight for a Roost. And whether you choose to stay in or not is honestly irrelevant. But now he decides to go into his Diggersby, which is kind of a problem. Not gonna lie. No, it is not. But he could take this as the perfect opportunity to set up a Swords Dance, if I'm to be completely honest. And I really, really feel like staying in, but that'd be a very bad play if I did such a thing, honestly. I know for a fact that I outspeed the Diggersby though with my Lando, so that is something which I don't necessarily have to worry too much about. I'm gonna go into my Lando actually. It seems like a very risky play, and I hope to God you don't... Okay, cool. I'm gonna be able to get the Swords Dance play just right, and now I'm gonna end up going for a Supersonic Sky Strike. Alternatively, I could just go for an Earthquake and save my Z move, but it's just not worth it. And whether he goes into Skarmory or not is irrelevant, because I do in the end happen to possess the Smackdown with me. So I'm just gonna go pop my Supersonic Sky Strike right now. He does go into his Skarmory, unfortunately enough, but that does a shit ton of damage. Oh my lord. Either way, I'm just gonna smack that. I'm just gonna smack that Skarm down with a Smackdown, and then end up going for my rocks, just to ensure that I am able to keep the pressure on. Yeah, I mean, the Weavile is kind of a problem to my team, which is why I think it'd be in my best interest to set up my rocks as well. So, and it could also force the Tapu Fini of his to pop that Defog of his. So, taking that into consideration, I believe that getting the residual damage would definitely be worth the play. So yeah, I'm just gonna get my rocks up as well. Things will be perfectly fine, and we should be able to go on from there. Like, at the end of the day, it's no secret that my Kingdra can just come in and just spam Hydro Pump and end the game. He does end up going for a Whirlwind, which is honestly irrelevant, because now what I can do is essentially just go for a U-turn, really. Or I could alternatively go for a Scald, but I think he's gonna definitely want to Roost up. So I'm gonna be able to get the call right, and now what I'm going to do would have to be just like this. The damage kind of shows to me that this thing is more Spadef. So I think I want to run a calc real quick to see how much Mega Medicham does to Skarmory. It's not a physically it's not Phys Def. That I can assure you. I know it's not calm, but yeah, I'm too lazy to care about the proper natures. But yeah, either way, I believe what my best play right now would have to be definitely going in my Mega Medicham and then kicking something in the face, cause what the hell is switching in, am I right? Even if I do lose my Mega Medicham in the process, I don't think I need this thing too much, considering how my Kingdra just wins. Like, it just puts the team on its back and just clicks Hydro Pump 6 times just to get the game. So I'm gonna kick that Skarmory in the face. He's gonna go for an Iron Head, and that's not gonna be able to knock me out. And now this is perfect, because now I can just get rid of this thing, and essentially I can just pretty much start spamming EQ with my Lando. But either way, he's gonna go into his Weavile, which is kind of a problem, that is for sure. But I don't think it's something that I need to stress too much about. I definitely would want to keep my Mega Medicham around, so I'm gonna go into my Ferrothorn. Regardless of what he does, he does reveal that he is Choice freaking Banded, but that's fine. that is fine, because what I am going to do is just actually start setting up some spikes on you, because for me to take the game home, I need to make sure that I keep offensively pressurizing you, and this seems to be my best course of action as of now. So yeah, I know for a fact that he's either going to go for a synthesis, so I'm gonna go into my Lando here. I don't see any reason not to. He's gonna synthesize up, but that's perfectly fine, because I can now just pretty much scare you out with a fly. And actually, I'm just gonna go for an earthquake. It's not doing enough, unfortunately, so I think I may be forced to set the rain up early with my Pelipper. Although now that I think about it, I kind of regret not knocking this thing out when I had the chance. Like, if I go for a fly, he can just... Actually, you know what? I need to go for a fly. So, whether he stays in or not is irrelevant, because even if he goes into his Heat Trend, the fact of the matter is I'm Jolly and I outspeed it. So, I'm going to be able to knock this thing out with an Earthquake is what I would say, but since I know for a fact that this thing is Choice Scarf, I cannot stay in. So, I'm just going to take this opportunity to go into my Pelipper. I can chew up whatever hit you want to dish out at me, and I can just follow up by going for a U-turn, if I'm to be completely honest. I think U-turn would have to be my play, because the thing is, I can't allow his Tapu Fini to come in and just get the defog off, because if he does do that, that actually be quite detrimental for my team. So I'm not sure really, but you know what? I'm just gonna wing it for now. He is gonna go into his Tapu Fini like I expected him to, but I'm gonna be able to get the call right. I will go out into my Tapu Koko, and I will just bop something with this Thunder. So yeah. Regardless of whether he goes into his Diggersby or not, I don't feel the need to stress too much about it. If he decides to let his Tapu Fini die, that is perfect, because what this means is that he won't be able to remove the hazard, remove all these hazards for the remainder of this match, and I should be set. I really hope to God that he does not go into his Diggersby though, because that would be a bit of a problem, is what I would say. Although I'm pretty sure you cannot knock me out with a quick attack anyway. So there's that. There is that. But yeah, while we're here, I may as well just talk about my recent... Okay, no, he does actually choose to switch out. He goes into his Mega Venusaur, which I don't really agree with, because I'm chipping this thing down a lot. And considering that the rain is up, you, my friend, are not gonna get any recovery, like at all. So I feel like my best play would definitely have to be keeping my Koko around. Because now, thanks to the rain, you're not going to be able to recover much HP. You're going to be able to knock me out with a Giga Drain, but that's completely fine, because what I can do right now is pretty much just go into my Kingdra and I'm just going to go for an Ice Beam, is what I would say. But I know for a fact that Hydro Pump two-shots you from this range, and your Giga Drain is not going to save you from it's not gonna necessarily save you really, but yeah, he makes a smart play by sacking off his Heat Trend, because now what this does is essentially give him a very free switch into his Tapu Fini. But I doubt whether he is going to live this Choice Specs Hydro Pump, because he's gonna be taking a round of Stealth Rocks and Spikes damage. So yeah, I don't think you're in range to live. I'm Choice Specs Modest Kingdra. I'm gonna be able to connect my Hydro Bomb. That crit did not matter in any single planet, and he pretty much put himself in his own deathbed, because yeah, I'm gonna be able to connect my next Hydro Bomb, and Kingdra is going to be cleaning house, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. There we go. This is actually pretty damn neat. But yeah, I think for me to pretty much guarantee the victory, I'm gonna need to go into my Ferrothorn, because I cannot it'd be in my best interest to not play around with external factors such as RNG. But regardless, he's gonna be able to knock me out with this Ice Shard, which is completely fine. I am just gonna go into my Pelipper, reset the rain up, as he is going to knock me out with this Ice Shard, and now I can just pretty much get a very free switch into my Kingdra. And I can click Surf 2 times and then end this game. I don't think that Quick Attack Diggersby is going to be able to knock me out from this range, and even if it does, I do think that my Mega Medicham should be able to eat a hit. But yeah, Kingdra is going to be able to come through, and that is going to be GG. That was a pretty good game, not gonna lie. Alright, so let's go get another one right now. And with that being said, I'm gonna pause right here and be right back till we get one. Oh yes, we're back right now, and as you can see, my opponent here is using a Kyurem Black squad, and thankfully I have 4 moves this time on my Mega Medicham. So yeah. Now, looking at his team, it is as clear as day that he would want to lead off with Big Papa Kyurem Black, or his Landorus if he wants to, if he feels like it. But I feel like my best lead overall would definitely have to be my Pelipper, because if he leads off with this, actually, you know what? I think Mega Medicham is my best lead, because what I can do is pretty much just like depending on his lead, I can carry out my approach. But either way, now it's almost clear that he will not stay in with his Magearna unless he's an OG Savage. So I expect him to make 2 plays, one of them being going into either his Mimikyu or his Lando. In which case, I feel very comfortable going into my Pelipper and just, you know, scaring out the Landorus should push come to shove. So he's gonna go into his Mimikyu like I expected him to, and this is fine because what I can do now is just essentially go for a U-turn. If he feels offensive, he's gonna definitely go for the Never-Ending Nightmare, but he does not. So that is very good for me, because now what I can do is essentially just go into my Tapu Koko, and I can now scare the shit out of you. Yeah, I can now just pretty much scare the shit out of my opponent. But I expect him to want to go into his Big Papa Black, aka the Kyurem. So I'm going to go straight for the U-turn right now. He actually goes into his Landorus, which is perfectly fine. Which is completely fine. He did not show me the Rock Helmet, so I assume that you are not that. But either way, this is actually good for me, because what I can do is essentially just get some nice chip on the Tapu Fini of his. I don't see any reason to go for a Hydro Pump as of yet, unless I want to pick up the pace. But I'm just gonna stick to clicking start for now. Like any kind of pressure is what is most welcome in my book, honestly. So with that being said, I'm gonna go into my Tapu Koko right now. Whether he goes for Nature's Madness or not is honestly irrelevant, because I can follow up by going for a Roost here. And if he decides to go into his Big Papa Black, aka the Kyurem, I can just go into my Ferrothorn and then scout for what kind of set it could potentially be. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for a Roost right now, not even gonna think about it twice. I believe that his Landorus could potentially be the Yachi Berry, considering how he just switched it in hard on my Tapu Koko. But it should be fine. It definitely should be fine, I believe. Probably should have just Hydro Pumped if I'm to be completely honest, now that I think about it. But it's whatever. I am still not gonna stay in on this thing, because I'm not playing around. I'm not playing around with this threat. So yeah, I'm gonna go into my own Lando, and I'm gonna go for a Supersonic Sky Strike. Okay, but instead he chooses to pull a very nice double into his Big Papa Black, aka the Kyurem. In which case I can just go into my Ferrothorn. That's a lot of damage. And if I think that's either Choice Specs. I don't think my Ferrothorn is supposed to. Yeah, this has a lot of Spadef investment, so I'm not sure really what it could potentially be, but I think I am fine by just going for a Lair of Spike. He just stays in and goes for an Ice Beam. Not sure that I agree with that play, considering how like I could have just Thunder Waved it and then just made this thing's life a living hell. But to each their own, I guess. But yeah, I probably should have Thunder Wave now that I think about it. I lost absolutely nothing from that. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that I didn't Thunder Wave there, because if I did end up doing just that, my Lando would have been able to leniently go for a Supersonic Sky Strike on its ass, and then just go on from there. But yeah, he's gonna be able to knock me out with this Ice Beam, which is completely fine, really. I can just go into my Mega Medicham, scare this thing out, and bait in the Mimikyu or his own Lando, in which case I feel very safe going into my Pelipper and resetting the rain up. So it seems that like for me to win this game, I pretty much need to make sure that I get some nice hazards on his field and then just spam Hydro Pump with my Kingdra and then end up going on from there. So yeah. He does end up going into his Mimikyu again like I expected him to. And now I just go for another U-turn. Not even gonna think about it twice, as he does end up going for a Swords Dance. He cannot knock me out with any single hit. So I feel very safe going into my Tapu Koko. Going either into my Koko or my Kingdra, really. I think Kingdra could be a fine play because they're actually, you know what? I'd rather not have not this thing be put in range for a quick attack from his Mega Pinsir. So I am gonna actually go into my Tapu Koko. And whether he chooses to Shadow Sneak or not is irrelevant. For I really do want to click HP Ice. Like, I know for a fact he's gonna go into his Lando. But stranger things have happened. Yeah, I knew for a fact that he was gonna stay in this time. I had a feeling he was gonna stay in for sure. But this is actually very good because we knock out one of his only 2 checks to Mega Medicham. So yeah, considering how I switched out this entire time, I'm gonna actually go for an HP Ice and pop this thing. It's not even Yachi Berry. This thing's not even Yachi Berry. Okay, cool. So now this pretty much guarantees me the fact that Mega Medicham is just gonna have a field day against him. But unfortunately, so does this Kyurem Black when it comes down to facing me. So I'm not so sure who's gonna be benefiting from it the most, really. Does Mega Medicham eat a hit though? That's my question. Kyurem B. Ice Beam does like 40. No, not that. Timid. I don't know. Alright, so he definitely is gonna be able to 2-shot me, which is kind of unfortunate. And I still do want my Lando around so that I can set up some rocks. But I think it's getting much more useless by the next second. So I'm gonna actually opt to. He actually clicks Art Power. I don't know why he even did that, but it's whatever. I'm just gonna try to set up my rocks. This kind of reveals to me that this thing is this kind of does reveal to me that this thing could potentially be Choice Scarf now that I think about it. But that's fine. I'm just gonna knock this thing out with a Smackdown. Since I'm jolly, I'm going to be able to outspeed this Landorus, and we should be able to go on from there. Alright, so this is very good for me because like the more he switches in with his Kyurem Black, the more he's going to be in range for my priority for my Mega Medicham. So we are actually in business, guys. We are actually in business. But if there's anything that still irks me though, it would have to be the fact that let's see, how much would a Pelipper take from this Kyurem Black? My god, why am I so average, guys? How do you check again? Oh yeah, import. My god, I'm really sorry, guys. Alright, so Pelipper, import. Pelipper, custom set. Kyurem B actually does not 2-shot me. So that's actually pretty damn sick. So I think I'm very safe going into my Pelipper now. Yeah, I actually didn't eat that hit, just so you know. Yeah, oh my god, what am I doing? No, I'm an idiot. I think I misplayed there. Yeah, that was really stupid of me. Okay, so I essentially need to sack something. And if there's anything that's getting useless by the second, I guess it would have to be my Landor. So yeah, that was a huge blunder on my fault, guys. I would definitely not recommend you ever do such a thing in the future. But either way, I'm not gonna think about this twice. I'm just gonna kick something in the face. Hopefully he does not freeze me, which he does not, and I'm gonna be able to knock out that Kyurem Black. So there is that, bros. He is gonna go into his Mega Pinsir. Now I need to run a calc to see which does more. Let's see, Medicham with Mega Kick of all things in this one. And there's no Mega Kick. There's no Mega Kick on this like calc as well, which is kind of stupid if you ask me, but it's whatever. I think it's honestly irrelevant what I go for in the end, considering how my how Koko Actually, you know what? Coco could not could end up costing me the game too as well. So I think my play right now would have to be going in my Pelipper and resetting the rain up. He is actually just gonna EQ though, for God knows why. And he is gonna try to set up a Swords Dance, but that's not gonna put me in range of a quick attack from his Mega Pinsir. So, like, especially after the Aerialate boost, Aerialate nerf, I really don't see myself dying to this move anytime soon. So there's that. So let's see how much Coco's U-turn does to a Mega Pinsir. It's actually a roll to knock him out, so I feel very safe going for a Thunder. I mean, I don't think Magearna can beat me at this stage. It would be absolutely outrageous if he were able to do such a thing. But regardless, I'm just gonna keep spamming Thunder. He is not Choice Scarf Tapu Fini, in which case I would be really raging if he was. But now I am just gonna opt to go for another Thunder, which is gonna be able to knock out the Magearna, and I'm going to say sorry, because I don't know if that mattered or not. Actually, you know what? Let me run a calc. Let me run the calc then. This is a Magearna. I'm gonna assume that this thing is offensive Trick Room and Thunder in the rain. Yeah, that actually was... I actually got lucky there. My gosh. Okay, so this guy's using Joey's team. Yeah, that's definitely Joey's team. So I think that my best lead overall would definitely have to be the Tapu Koko, because it matches up very well against the vast majority of his team. I know for a fact that this is a Stealth Rock Mew, so I'm going to adjust my plays based on that alone. And I am just going to lead off with my Ferrothorn. Yeah, Ferrothorn seems like a fine lead here because, like, actually, you know what? I don't think that's Joey's team. Yeah, that doesn't seem like Joey's team at all. He just goes for an HP fire turn 1. I don't know why, but I'm gonna be able to pop that thing's AV right off, and I'm just gonna go into my Lando, because if he decides to go for a knockoff, you're not gonna get rid of my Z Crystal. I am going to just simply get my rocks up ASAP, as out comes the Mew. And now what I believe I should do would have to be just going into my Pelipper and just getting the rain up, really. Whether you go for Wisp or not is honestly irrelevant to me. Even if you have Taunt, that is also fine. But I am just going to make sure that I offensively pressurize the vast majority of your team, really. So here I'm going to go into my Tapu Koko. Your switch-in would have to be your Tank Growth, but I don't know how well it's going to eat this Thunder. Yeah, you're not eating that hit well at all, bro. I'm really sorry for the paralysis, though. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Really sorry. Okay, so that's very unfortunate for my opponent, for sure. I definitely want to go for another, go for an HP Ice, predicting either his Tank Growth or his Garchomp to want to come out. But that seems like a very pointless play if you think about it. Thunder definitely is not gonna knock you out. I mean, a U-turn is not gonna knock out that Mew, so I'm very much well off by not getting rid of this thing. And this is very good actually, because now what I'm able to do is essentially just put this thing in range. Like put this thing in range of certain moves from my Pokemon, such as like my, let's see. I know he's gonna set up a DD. Like, that much is a given. So I think my best play would definitely have to be getting the rain back up. I don't think he's gonna have Stone Edge. Yeah, he is definitely not gonna Stone Edge, but rather he is going to opt to I need to go into my Landorus. Yeah, I need to go into my Landorus and make sure that that you don't end up being too much of a problem. So with that being said, I feel like now would be my play. Now my best play would definitely have to be going into my Ferrothorn actually, because I think I knock you out with the Gyro Ball the very next turn. Yeah, instead of just letting my Lando die unnecessarily, what I'm going to be able to do is actually just chip this thing down enough to the point where I can guarantee the KO, KO with my Kingdra. So I'm very much better off doing that, as he is gonna go for an Ice Punch. Completely fine, really. I'm not sure if a +2 Mega Tyranitar outspeeds a Kingdra in the rain. plus 2 Mega T Mega Car outpace Kingdra in range. Alright, so I still do happen to, yeah, I think I should, yeah, modest too, yeah, modest. Yeah, I'm modest actually. So I think he may be able to outspeed me. Like, I'm not entirely too sure though, as unfortunate as it is. Yeah. Alright, cool. So, yeah, this is actually very good to know. So, because what I can do now is just easily go into my Kingdra, go for a surf and knock this thing out. I don't, like, yeah, I mean, if what my friend said is true, he definitely is not going to be able to outspeed me and knock me out with the Stone Edge. If he does, then I'm going to hate myself for as long as I live. That is for sure. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for a surf here. The fact that I was able to knock off that Tangroad's AV is actually very good for me, because that's gonna make things much more easier to chip down this Tangrowth. Like, yeah, this just gives away that fact. So I'm gonna actually go into my Lando. Whether you choose to go for a Giga Drain or not is irrelevant, because I chew that. And now I know for a fact that you are going to switch out, my friend. So I'm going to click Earthquake right now, and I'm gonna knock out whatever you want to bring in. I really don't think you're gonna stay in, and even if you do, that is completely fine with me, because I can pretty much just follow up by going in my Mega Medicham and getting my next kill from there. He stays in, unfortunately enough. If I went for the Supersonic Sky Strike, then he would have been dead, but that's completely fine, really, because now I can get my kill by going for the high jump kick. Nothing really switches in on me. So yeah, he is actually gonna go in his Garchomp. I'm gonna be able to hit that high jump kick, so down goes that threat. As now I believe what I need to do would have to be just contemplating Seppuku. Yes, Coco seems like a fair play, if I'm to be completely honest. I do know, however, that I cannot allow you to go for a Dark Pulse. Hey, you know what? You don't knock me out with any move. You don't knock me out with anything unless you are, unless you're Gunk. I'm an idiot. Why can't I play properly? Seriously, why can't I play properly? Why am I so bad at this game? Man, I'm trash. Alright, so I'm essentially just forced to spam Hydro at this stage. I'm gonna miss that thing, which is very unfortunate. But that just... it's all good, man. Yeah, I probably should have just gone for the Supersonic Sky Strike, really. See, this is why I can't play properly. Just when I think I'm making the right plays, I end up making a huge mistake, and I end up being the one that ends up hating myself the most for it. Because if I was able to knock this thing out with the Supersonic Sky Strike, then what the hell did he have for my Kingdra? Absolutely nothing. Unless he was some AV shit with this, some AV shit. He really didn't have anything, if I'm to be completely honest. But I just let my Coco die for no reason. Run the jewels. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to knock out that Magearna, but now out comes this this piece of shit. And I need to sack off my Pelipper, because Dark Pulse definitely is going to be able to knock me out. Like, that much is a given. So I need to go in my Pelipper. I'm going to sack this thing off, and I have 3 turns. I have 3 turns left, in which case I know for a fact that his play would have to be definitely going into his Tyranitar to log the game. So yeah, I choked this game away. GG. I lost this game. Unless Dark Pulse does not knock me out and I get some Mega Crit, I really don't see myself winning this game, unfortunately. This play is definitely sacking off his Tyranitar before ending the game with his yeah, I lost this one. Fuck. Alright, so for this last game, this man here is using a team with Araquanid. Yeah, he's using Araquanid, so I am just gonna lead off with my Pelipper. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. If you lead off with his Latios, that is irrelevant. That is honestly just a very free switching into my Ferrothorn. And if he's smart, he's definitely gonna pull a double, I believe. No, he just goes for a Side Shock. That's fine too. But I can now just take this as a perfect opportunity to set up a layer of Spike on him. He can go for an HP Fire, but you do realize that I'm in the rain, right? Yeah. So much for that. Alright, so I'm going to be able to paralyze that Latios of his. And I know for a fact that you're not going to go for a Side Shock. You ain't man enough to do just that. So yeah, I'm going to eat that Hidden Power Fire just fine. I'm going to not knock you out with this U-turn. Yes, not going to not knock you out with this U-turn. And alas, I'm going to need to go in my Ferrothorn again, as he is going to be able to snag a crit on me. Which is kind of unfortunate, but what can you do about it? I'm just going to go for another U-turn and knock this Latios out. And go on from there. And man, me throwing that game away was just really, really unnecessary. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? But yeah, nothing can be done about it, I suppose. Now that I think about it, I probably should have gone into my Mega Medicham, because he actually goes into Araquanid though. You, my friend, I quad resist your stabs. So I don't see any reason to not drop a Draco on you. Yeah, I quad resist them. So I'm going to be able to chew your head just fine. I'm going to go into my Pelipper, reset the rain back up, as your liquidation is actually doing a crap ton to me. Huh. Look at me choking this game away again. Beautiful. Beautiful. I probably should have gone in my Lando now that I think about it. But if I did that, then why can't I play properly? Why can't I play properly? I cannot play these matches properly at all, it seems. Tapu Koko seemed like a very, very useless member. So me going into that was honestly very stupid of me. But yeah, I'm going to let this thing go down. I am just going to go into my Mega Medicham, because Medicham goes Mediham on your ass. And I'm going to be the one benefiting from this in the end. And of course, he does not know that I don't have the Ice Punch with me. So, yeah, I mean, regardless of that possibility or not, his play is definitely still going to his Lando, really. And if he has a Supersonic Sky Strike, he is going to pop it right now. So in that regard, my play is definitely just going into my my play is definitely going to my Lando, no matter what way I look at it. So I'm just gonna pop my Z move right now. Let's see how much damage I do to this thing. I am going to be able to snag a crit on him, which is very unfortunate. But due to the fact that my Pelipper may not live the next Stealth Rock re-entry, I need to knock this thing out right now. But either way, I think I still win this game regardless of how terribly I played it. Because there's nothing he can do really. There's really nothing he can do by just, with the remainder 3 of his Pokemon. Like, he could attempt to set up a DD with his Tyranitar, but I still end up outspeeding it with my Kingdra. So in that regard, I definitely think that I am in the cut. But yeah, like, I'm still kicking myself what I did in the last game, because if I just gone for the Supersonic Sky Strike, I pretty much won the game by going into my Kingdra. So I guess it's something that I need to take into consideration for future matches. But yeah, he's gonna go into his Excadrill. I don't know what this thing wants to do to me, but if there's something I do know, it is the fact that it's pretty much a case of picking your poison, really. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to knock out that Excadrill of his. I don't know why he went into this though, because now that I think about it, this was definitely Sand Rush. But yeah, I'm just gonna Lando is just gonna clean up with this by just clicking EQ as of now. So he can go to his Tyranitar, but the King of OU is going to be cleaning up here. And with that being said, that is going to be GG. So GG to my opponent. And I'm going to get one last game to try to redeem myself for for how terribly I played in the last game. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to be right back, guys. Okay guys, we're back right now. And it seems that this man is using a team which is going to be a bit hard to whittle down. Particularly because of that Mew. But it should be fine though. Lead-wise, I definitely think that he is going to lead off with his Zapdos. But either way, my lead will always be my Pelipper because like it just brings in so much pressure against him. It's not even funny. But yeah, I'm gonna lead off with my Pelipper. He is going to lead off with his Mew. Completely fine, really, because I think my play here would definitely have to be just making sure he's not gonna be a knockoff. Yeah, he's gonna be Wisp if anything. So in that regard, I am fine. For I can just go into my Tapu Koko. I can go for a Thunder and make sure that I do enough damage to you to the point where you can't do anything to me. Yeah, that did way too much. Come on, bro. You think you're gonna be able to chew that hit? You really can. So this is actually very good for me because now his one of his win cons is essentially whittled down to the point of no return. I'm actually gonna go for a U-turn, expecting him to want to switch out into a different Pokemon. It wasn't Magearna, but it will do. But either way, I'm going to be able to go out into my Orlando here. And as of now, if he's feeling slick, he will want to stay in. So I'm just going to go for an Earthquake here. While you could make the argument that that EQing was too obvious, like, at the end of the day, I'm still playing the ladder, guys. So, I really don't know. I really don't know, honestly. Either way, Mega Medicham is my play here. He is going to HP Ice. I'm going to be able to chew that just fine. And I believe what I'm going to do would actually be... yeah, that probably was not my play now that I think about it. That actually was not my play. Yeah, because this thing is Discharge. But either way, I think I feel very comfortable going for a knockoff. He is going to go for a Heat Wave and snag a bloody burn on me, which is just beautiful. It's just beautiful, really. It's amazing how this game works sometimes, but it is whatever. I'm gonna need to U-turn on out into my Lando again. Or alternatively, I could go into my Mega Medicham because Medicham goes Mediham on his ass. So on that note, I feel very comfortable going for a Thunder Punch here. If he is feeling very slick, he is going to stay in. Actually, you know what? I really don't expect him to want to go into his Gengar, really. Because that'd be just pretty much committing suicide. But yeah, I'm just going to go in for a Thunder Punch. He actually goes in his Gengar. Yeah, lose your win con for that. Lose your win con for that terrible play. I will never understand why he made that play. But another man's misfortune is my own blessing. So, in that note, I need to make sure I choose my next series of plays carefully, because that will actually decide if I end up winning this game or not. Now, unfortunately, since he was able to get a Heat Wave burn with his Zapdos, my Ferrothorn is essentially just set up water for that Mega Pinsir of his, and I don't want this thing to be set up to the point where it can actually just make my life an absolute living hell. So, on that note, I definitely want to Mega Kick him in the face. But like just seeing the fact that I can spam high jump kick is way too good for me to pass out on. But it seems that I have no choice. I have to go into my Lando anyways. I know for a fact that you're Hyper Cutter, just so you know. But there really isn't anything I can do about it. I could have gone in my Tapu Koko, but that was really a very unnecessary and risky, as well as a risky play. And I know for a fact that you will outspeed me and knock me out with this return. So I'm actually just gonna go in my Ferrothorn. I hope to God he doesn't predict that and goes for another SD, but he does not. So this pretty much guarantees the fact that he is in range of a Thunder. In which case I'm gonna go into my Tapu Koko right now. And irregardless of the fact that I don't have the rain to hit this move, I am going to pray to the Hags gods that I am able to hit just that. If he's smart, he definitely is not going to stay in. No man on this planet should stay in with his Mega Pinsir, especially considering the fact that it ends up that it legitimately wins in the game. So if he if he's feeling like it, he is actually he will stay in, bank me missing, and like knock me out with this earthquake. And if he is smart, he will go into his Zygarde, which he does. So very good play on my opponent's behalf. I definitely feel safe going for a U-turn and then going into my Lando, because that will prevent whatever hopes he has when it comes down to setting up. He is actually choice banned at E-Speed, so that is very good to know. I however feel the need to bait in that Zapdos of his. I feel the need to bait that Zapdos of his, but he actually goes into his Mew, which is completely fine. I'm actually gonna get my rocks up in that just for that, because actually, you know what? I think I should knock this thing out. I really think I should knock this thing out, because one way or another, I still win the game with my Kingdra. So I'm actually just gonna knock this Mew out, because that is my best play. He is gonna go into his Zapdos, and I don't know if you knock me out with an HP Ice. You probably do. So on that note, I think I'm gonna go into my Pelipper first of all, because you're not gonna go for an electric type move. No human being on this planet does. You have absolutely no reason to go for an electric. Okay. Not that it matters though, because now I just click Hydro Pump. Yeah, I just click Hydro Pump. I just click Hydro Pump 4 times and end this game. So, he brought in. Yeah, if that was AV, then that was definitely a terrible play on my opponent's behalf. He's gonna go into his Zapdos, and as of now, yeah, Kingdra is just gonna be cleaning house, ladies and gentlemen. So the fact that he made this play is actually gonna come back to bite him really hard, because like, full Spadef. Yeah, man. I am hacker. Bow to me. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep spamming Hydro Pump. This man is getting very salty, and I'm starting to like it even more. So yeah, good fucking bye and good night. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for, yeah, that actually makes sense. If you enjoyed this video in any way, feel free to hit that like button down below. Really sorry for my terrible plays, and I will see you all next time. Peace.